Hello world! We have a lot to catch up on. Oh, okay. Gotta take this off really fast. It's so hot. So, I know I haven't been posting in a long time. Oh, last piece. It's really hot. So I know I haven't been posting for a few months and I just haven't. I'll tell you this story later. But as you see, a lot has changed and we have a lot to catch up on. So first of all, I think I might have talked about moving last time. Well, it happened and I moved. So this is a completely new apartment. I'm in a smaller space around the city area, getting closer to the city, and I've been struggling to find the right background and also the right lighting. And as you can see, this is 100% artificial light and definitely not as nice as the last place, but you know, you gotta work with what you have. And I think it's just better to have something finished than something perfect, as you can tell with all of my knitting. So yeah, I moved, and the other thing is I dyed my hair pink. I'm really happy about it. I don't know if it's been kind of a dream to just dye my hair in a fun color, and because I can't commit long term to going to the salon every month, I decided to do this like ombre thing, so if my roots come out, I don't have to touch up anything. So I'm still a low maintenance gal. Also, I curled my hair on my own for the first time, just for you guys. I think it turned out okay. Yeah, criticisms are not welcome, so that's fine. What else? Oh, I'm wearing, it's very small here, you can't really see it. It's the Venice wrap tank. I can't remember who it's by. And I'm kind of happy that you can't see the rest of my midriff because I'm a little self-conscious about my belly. And as you could probably guess, I've been knitting a lot the past few months, so that doesn't mean I haven't been going out and exercising and stuff. But we gotta, oh, I forgot about my mug. I have to show you this mug, hold on. My friend got me a mug and it says, "I swoon over big balls," and I certainly do. I don't know if you remember, I bought these, the Noro Akari yarn, and they're thick and they come in large balls, 200 grams, and that glory just sucked me in, and I bought a ball and realized I want more, so I bought another ball. And that leads us to our first finished object. So I got 2 balls of the Noro Akari yarn. It's so big, and I made this Nightshift Shawl. I think I was really close to being done last time, but yeah, I finally finished it, and I did go on the plane with it. I was thinking about making this massive shawl that would be like a blanket, so when we go back to traveling again, which I have been doing, I'll catch you up on that later, I can wrap it around on the plane and go. Except it was summer, so I really didn't need it that much. So yeah, so this is my first finished object. I'm really happy about it, though I think I can't find it anymore. I think there's a hole somewhere, and I have a feeling, see, I can't find it, so I think that's a good thing, right? I have a feeling that the Noro Akari yarn, like, it was supposed to be rustic type of yarn, so there's some variation. So certain parts of the yarn was actually thicker and thinner and, you know, nice texturally, but I think part of the thinner part broke, and that's why there's a hole. I just like tied it up with the other strand and called it a day. Because the pattern's so busy, you can't see it, and if it's not broken, I kind of don't care. Again, more important to have something complete than something completely perfect. So yeah, that's my first finished object. Second finished object. So this is another I'm looking forward to something when the pandemic ends knit. So this is the Mazzy sweater. Ta-da! It is done. She is thick. This is using worsted weight yarn. What is it? It was Juniper Moon Farms yarn, but I can't remember which one off the top of my head. I bought like, it's worsted weight, and I bought 6 skeins of them because they were on sale from Yarnia, the local yarn store in New Jersey, which they just had a birthday sale, and it took all of my self-restraint to not go there and buy the entire store. I just didn't participate because I have a stash that's a little big. It's not beyond life expectancy yet, but but I would rather not have a large stash, and in such a small space, if I have just all the yarn that I want, then I wouldn't have space to store food. That would be an issue. I like eating a lot. But yeah, anyways, the Mazzy sweater is done. I bought 6 skeins, and I think I still have like 2.5 skeins left, which is ridiculous. This is an oversized sweater. It's pretty long. It's got these cable details that you can't see on the ribbing because I conveniently chose a black yarn. And the thought behind choosing a black yarn was that, you know, when we go back to the office, supposedly after Labor Day, then I would have something nice to wear in the office that would also work for the fall and winter seasons. Well, guess what? We're still working from home, which is great. I'm completely capitalizing on that and going to different places in the US and working from there. So the going back to the office thing is not going to happen until next year. Fingers crossed. I do really like my coworkers and I do want to see them. The actual thought about working in the office, like the actual work itself, I'm just kind of like, I just kind of want to see my coworkers. Like, I don't know, I don't like dressing up for office. I wish that, I'm hoping that the dress code will lean more casual, and that would be great because I would like to wear all of my sweaters in the office and not look like a slug compared to everyone else. So that's the plan. And also because we're not going back to the office, I thought, you know, once in a lifetime chance to dye my hair real funny and not get that many weird looks. So I don't know, it's not technically funny, it's not bright pink, and I think the color will fade a little bit and it'll look really pretty. It really looks really pretty. I might get addicted to this. It's kind of expensive though. But yeah, second finish object, there. All right, rapid fire. Third finish object is this. Ooh, this sweater by Fiber Tales. This is the, can't find the front side. This is the Morel Sweater. It's got little berries on there, and I really like those baubles. It was really fun. I've never done baubles before, and this is, I think this is hands down the most complicated sweater that I've done before. It's a top-down raglan construction, and it's very oversized, and it's got, I think because of where the shoulder is placed, it's like you have a lot of fabric here. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of how it fits, but I really like the weight. It's very light. This yarn is from what is it? It's called Zero, and it's from Fiber, no, I don't remember. I can't remember the name of the company, but don't worry, that's what captions are for. They're gonna be here or there somewhere. But yeah, this is, I think, a blend of like Suri alpaca, cotton, and some other stuff, and it's just so fluffy and so soft and so light. I think compared to mohair, which would also have a very similar fuzzy texture. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a little fuzzy texture. Mohair also has that, but I always feel like mohair is just a little bit itchy. But this Suri alpaca, not itchy at all. Like, I really like wearing it, and now that weather's getting cooler, more opportunities. So that's also lovely. That also took about a month, I think, so not bad, even though it's the most complicated thing that I've done. Next thing, okay, I got a request for a hat, so Grace I, if you're watching, hi. So I made her a hat. I chose, she specifically did not want a pom-pom, so I chose the tin can knit antler toque, though I don't know if this qualifies as a toque because I think toques, they're supposed to like be fitted on the top of your head, but anyways, I guess it's more like a beanie now, so oh well. But I think it's really cute. It's got this antler motif going on, and this yarn, I used the Wool & Grace's recycled cashmere yarn. I don't think they carry this yarn anymore. I think it's like a pretty small batch. So this is a yarn store in Summit, New Jersey. It's very local, and that's their own house brand, and they don't sell anymore, but it's pretty good. Nice and soft. And after making this, I remembered, oh wait, I was going to make myself a hat too. That can wait. I still have my first hat that I've ever made, and it'll work fine. So yeah, cool. And then I also made my first self-striping sock. I don't have sock blockers, so this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Actually, this is technically a half object, because okay, so I learned this from agile methods. So this is a common method that's used in the tech world to, in short, to make things go from doing to done. So your goal is to be done, to go from doing to done, and you need to know what done means. And for me, in knitting, done means when the ends are all woven in and cut off and maybe photographed. So that's what done means to me. So this is technically a half object, even though they're both knit up completely, but this one has no ends and this one does. So I still need to weave in the ends on this. This is a half object to me, because it does not fit my definition of done yet. And this is my first time doing a self-striping yarn. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put the yarn down here. But it's got this pink, orange, yellow stripes. It's just super happy. Totally not fall. I just started this like 2 weeks ago, and as I was making this, I'm like eyeing at the pink and thinking about my pink hair. I know they're not the same shade, but as I was knitting it, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get pink hair, because I think I scheduled that. So the thought about getting pink hair was in my head for a while, and I scheduled that salon appointment like 2 or 3 days in advance, and is that normal? I feel like people usually schedule a lot more in advance, but anyways, but I was just thinking about it through while I was knitting and go like, oh, I'm gonna get pink hair, and like this is gonna match. I mean, kind of. It kind of matches. So there's that. This is my first time also doing a afterthought heel. Yes, that's what I did differently. So it's first time doing afterthought heel, and how that works is that you knit a tube. So I just start from here to the bottom without doing any decreases or increases or anything weird. Like, you just don't turn that little corner, you just go straight down. So imagine if it looks like this, kind of, without that weird kink. It's just a tube, and then you bind off on the bottom, and then you forget about it. And then when you're ready, you come back and you look at it, go like, okay, so this is going to be the bottom of the foot, and I'm going to pick out a place that would make the foot the length of my foot and cut it open. That's super unintuitive. I've never cut open any of my work yet. I haven't done steeking yet. That's on my list of to-dos. But yeah, you cut open the knitting, unravel it a little bit, and then, you know, you pick up the stitches first, of course. You pick up the stitches so it doesn't unravel completely. You unravel it a little bit, just to the length of your foot, and then you knit the heel. It's so easy. I've never done it before. The only thing that was kind of a pain was I really wanted perfectly symmetrical socks. I know some people don't mind asymmetrical self-striping socks, but I do. So they're pretty symmetrical, right? Yeah, they're pretty good. So I had to, you know, go through the yarn and make sure I'm starting around the right place every time. So that was the only pain in the butt thing. Socks. I think this is like merino and nylon, so I'm hoping it'll last a while. I'm also kind of experimenting with like the cast on number of stitches. So I think I did 56 stitches because I read on a different pattern somewhere that they were using 56 stitches. It was like I was going to, oh, I forgot to get that one out. Okay, I was going to knit this We've Got Chemistry socks, and that would be my first time doing color work. Except I have it hidden somewhere. I don't know if I should show you. I should show you. Hold on, let me get it. So I was trying to say, the We've Got Chemistry sock is a color work sock that was worked top down and also with the afterthought heel. So I'm like, perfect. I'm going to just base this pattern off of that because I don't know how to do, you know, afterthought heels or anything, so why not? So I cast it on 56 stitches for the smallest size just to see what happens. And the reason why I abandoned the We Got Chemistry sock pattern was the test tubes. So I've never done color work until this point, and I don't know, some of my friends, they were trying to put it nicely to let me know that these don't look like test tubes, it looks like something phallic. So I kind of abandoned this project. Also, I think it's just way too small for, I was gonna knit this for Lauren, my friend. I think she's a taller woman, so she has a bigger foot. And this is definitely not bigger foot material. It's only, maybe it is? No, it's not much bigger. And the other thing I learned is that on the colorwork section, it's kind of double thick compared to the non-colorwork section, like here. So if I pull on this, you know, pretty stretchy. But if I pull on this, it's not going. See? Way stretchier. So if I were gonna ask someone to pull this up their calves, that's not gonna work. So this is going to be a rip. It's not happening, and I'm pretty sure I don't have enough yarn. I'm just trying to use up something, but I'm sure I'll find another use for the leftover yarn that I have from sitting around. So there's that. So that's an abandoned project. Okay. Wow, I actually went through all my finished objects. Alright, so I do have one more work in progress. Let me get that. So I said in the beginning of the year that I'm going to do color work, right? So those test tube socks, they were my first attempt, and I also said that I'm going to make myself mittens. So when the time comes, I'm gonna have warm hands, and the time is coming, I guess. You know, it's getting cooler, not that cool yet, and I said I wanted to make the shine mittens. So I decided I'm gonna be really good and do swatches. And I did an entire swatch of the front face of the color work in the round too. This uses so much yarn, and this made me feel really confident about going into the color work. I mean, there's some mess ups here and there, but you know, it's a busy pattern, you'll never know. Like, find the mess up. Can you find the mess up? Put it in the comments if you can tell me where I messed up. Or maybe I can do like, point my fingers slowly and then you can like find the exact timestamp where which row I messed up. I don't know, maybe I'll send you a little prize. I don't know what I can give you, so let me know. I think it'll be fun. Anyways, so I was really good and I did that whole thing, this massive swatch that I was like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. And then I made the mitten. I mean, it's missing a thumb, but like everything is done just on this side. There's also mess ups somewhere, so I think this one might be easier to catch. And not really, but I think tell me where I messed up on the swatch. I think that's fun. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. It fits me. I'm taking it off. It feels hot. And I just need to do the thumb and make another one. Dude, I'm totally feeling the, what is it called? Single sock syndrome? But these are mittens, but yeah. And the front is a little bumpy, and I think it'll block out. And I think the other thing is, wow, it looks so much nicer on camera. So, where's the yarn? It's all the way there. So like the white yarn is a little speckled, so you can, and the speckled color happens to be very similar to the brown yarn. So there are just some places where the contrast isn't as strong. But I guess maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it was in my head. I mean, here you can see in the palm area, like this area. Someone's outside. Ain't my problem. This area, it's not as contrasty than like these areas. You don't see that stitch definition. So like that's the only downside on my yarn choice. I already forgot what yarn it is. It's two types of yarn from Madelinetosh, but I don't remember which ones they are. Yeah, and they're also two different weights technically, but they're similar enough that, you know, I just went like, whatever, run with it. And oh, originally I was also going to make a lining for it because I thought, you know, winter is going to be really cold. You want to line your mittens. But man, what I didn't know at that time was that the stranded knitting, you basically get a thicker fabric. So I don't think I need to line this, and also I don't have the will to do this again. That is my work in progress. So we talked about finished object, work in progress, there's even one rip. I guess usually people talk about acquisitions now. So one of my biggest acquisitions is this condo. I bought a home. That's why I moved. This is my home, and theoretically this means I can't buy any more yarn. But I still bought yarn. That's an issue. And I bought a lot of yarn. And maybe one day I'll do like a stash dive or something and show you how much yarn I already have. I know it's not crazy, but it is pretty crazy. And for all those friends who are just being supportive and watching my channel just because I told them that I have a knitting channel, yarn is expensive. Let's see, do I have any yarn here? Okay, I do. Alright, as an example, this is a yarn that I bought. Beautiful yarn, first acquisition. This is the Malabrigo yarn. Arrow. It's the Arrow yarn. And it's a DK. The color is Juniper. Beautiful red. Nice and soft. And what's your material? You are 100% superwash merino wool. So nice stuff. For those non-yarny friends, these will not, just this one thing will not make you a sweater. Okay. This is not enough for a sweater. This is 100 grams, I think. Yeah, this is 100 grams. Or 306 meters. I don't know, the whole yardage thing flies over my head. I know, I used to be an engineer, whatever. But the gram thing, like, you know, it's always, yarn usually comes at 100 grams or 50 grams. And that's easier for me to remember how much yarn there is. But anyways, on the price point, this yarn, it's not too expensive. It's $19.2 or $19.20. So for my non-yarny friends, this will not make you a sweater. About, you know, 4 or 5 of this will make you a sweater. So a sweater is like 80 bucks. I mean, like, if you compare to some higher end or mid-range sweaters that you can get out there, it's not too bad, but they're not handmade. They're not tailored for you. So, you know, but if you compare it to like H&M or something like that, you'd be like, oh my god, how much money are you spending on your knitting? But yeah, yarn is expensive. I had to explain this to someone else, and I realized that, oh, people don't know that. I mean, I was sticker shocked too when I first started knitting. And when I first started knitting, there was a lot of Knit Picks yarns because they were relatively affordable for good materials. But yeah, first acquisitions. I really shouldn't be buying yarn, but I'm going to probably keep buying yarn, or I'm going to try to not buy. I'm not going to commit to not buying yarn, okay? So like, I'm coming clean. Like, I'm gonna try my best to use up my yarn before I buy more, but if I see something I really like, yeah, we have an issue here, and I admit it, it's the first time to rehabilitation, but I'm not going to change anything. Good. We are in agreement here. We're aligned. Okay, cool. So, first acquisition. Actually, this is a series of acquisitions. So I bought this from the local yarn store in South Orange. It's called the local yarn store. Actually, I even have a bag for it. Ta-da! So I got the bag earlier this year during the wool walk, and I went to the local yarn store after moving here. This is really close to the city, and I don't have a car anymore. So I had to take public transit all the way to South Orange because I really wanted to meet my friend who's going to a wedding somewhere in the burbs, like far in the burbs, and really don't want to deal with city traffic. Completely agree. City traffic is a pain in the butt. We're gonna ignore that. But anyways, so we met up, you know, had coffee, had lunch, and I was like, we had to go to a yarn store, and they were good. They humored me. They went into the yarn store and looked at stuff with me, and I said, I really want to pick out some yarn for a colorwork sweater by Max. I can't remember his last name, but he's a designer from Canada. I hope you don't hear that buzzing sound. It's really loud. I'm going to ignore it. He's a designer from Canada, and he made this design called For Fox's Sake, I think, and put a picture right here. It's super cute. It's got, you know, that colorwork yoke with graphic foxes on there, and I've been eyeing that sweater for years, 2 years, a year, at least 1 year, because I really want to make it for my partner. If any of you, I know most people who are watching are my friends in real life. You guys have met my partner, and Glasses Fox and my partner, like, they seem to just go together perfectly. I've been wanting to make this sweater for a very long time. So finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet, pick out the yarn, and this is all the yarn that I picked out. Okay, this is not all the yarn I picked out. I don't even remember what I settled on with like the colorations, but like, this is so much yarn. I'm sure I'm going to have leftovers, but yeah, I picked out, you know, the superwash merino. They're all the same yarn. They're all Malabrigo Arrow yarn, so they're all superwash. They're just in different colors. Oh, it's so pretty. They're all different colors. Ooh, I can, haha, feel like I'm really strong, except this is all just yarn. I like my friends helped me with the color combination, so thanks, Julia. Otherwise I would have spent an eternity in that store and they would have to kick me out, and I still wouldn't have been able to make up my mind. So where was I don't remember what, oh, I think the base color, you know, is going to be this color, so it's going to be a blue sweater. Yeah, and I don't remember what other color, like what I decided each color, like each section is going to be what color. I forgot that map already, so that's going to be a problem for a different day. But because I was planning on making that sweater, I was like, I have to know how to do color work. So this was my practice. The mittens were my practice. And I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year, like this would be a Christmas gift maybe. I don't know. That buzzing sound is really loud. I really hope it's not in the audio. But yeah, so finally committing to color work and hoping for the best. So my partner, he requested a sweater actually. No, he didn't request a sweater. He was just commenting that, so he started dental school, so he's in the hospital a lot, so he's just like, oh my gosh, it's so cold in there, and I'm like, I have a solution for you. I can make you a sweater. I feel like that's how I started knitting. I'm like, oh gosh, I lost 3 hats. I have a solution. I can make a hat from scratch. Totally logical, but I haven't lost that hat yet. Crossing my fingers. So yeah, color work, that's on the plate. So hopefully that's gonna be one of my next projects. Actually, I just realized I have another acquisition in that corner because I was working on it. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, this is from Knitwit in Portland, Maine. This is their sock yarn. That buzzing sound is so loud. It's distracting me. I hope it's not distracting you. Or maybe it is, but honk, rude. Anyways, oh, I have the tag here. I have the ball band here. There we go. That's what it's called. Cool. Alright, so we traveled to Maine. I don't think I worked there. I just took time off and traveled around Portland, New Brunswick. Wait, that's about it. No, yeah, Portland, and this is Knitwit's Maine yarn. You can see it here. It's their sock yarn. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's got, I already scanned it up because I couldn't wait. It's got these beautiful speckles. I think the colorway is called Lupin. Lupin? It's supposed to be a flower, right? Anyways. So, and I'm knitting a swatch. See? I'm being really good. I'm being really good about swatches. And you can already see it's a very small swatch. All the nice color, the nice speckles. It's been a treat to knit this. It's been so fun. I just love seeing the stitches change colors. So that has been such a joy. And what I'm gonna make with it, I'm planning on making a pair of mittens, convertible mittens for my partner's mom. I think like earlier this year or last year I was like, oh, is there anything you want? She's like, mittens would be really nice, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it. And I think it was getting warm already, so that's probably this year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna procrastinate on that for a long time. Well, now's the time to cast it on. So I'm swatching. I'm being really good. I'm really proud of myself. I used to never swatch. I hated swatching so much, and honestly, I still really prefer working on the project rather than working on my swatch. But just gotta change my mindset a little bit. I'm already working on a project. The swatch is the part of the project. So what does a swatch do? So basically, you make a sample, right? So you know how the yarn behaves, you know how thick the fabric is going to be, you know how dense the fabric is going to be, you know what needles to use. So I'm using this tiny size 2 needles. I might need to size down. So that's something good to know before you start a project. So for example, like if I didn't make this swatch and I start on this project, maybe by this point I'll be like, oh, these needles are not working out at all, and I'll have to rip off the entire thing, right? So in a way, theoretically, swatching would make things faster, but I just hated doing it. And I guess this also goes into the agile thing. Like you're supposed to build in checks in your process so that, you know, at every check you're like, you know, your work in progress is good, and then you keep going until you get to done. So yeah, kind of, I guess, kind of the same thing. So okay, I also got more yarn. Surprise! More yarn! Wait, there's more! More yarn! Ta-da! More yarn! Okay, I also got this at the Knitwit yarn store in Portland, Maine. This is Quint & Co.'s Willet. It is 100% cotton, and I got it because it's so soft. It feels really soft for cotton, and I haven't paid that much attention to cotton yarn generally, so I don't think I've felt cotton this soft yet. So it feels very luxurious. Would you say it even has a sheen? I don't know. It's a really nice color too. In the shop, I think because the light was a little bit more yellow, so I thought this is gonna be like kind of a navy color. I bought it, I got it at the shop, and I'm like, this is green. It's green. That's okay. I also really like this color too. So this comes in 50-gram hanks, pretty small. So I got 5. I got 5 of them because I want to knit a summer shirt when the winter comes. But I don't know, like, I always have something wintry on my needles, so I just never get to my summer knits. And you know, for me, I usually only have 2 projects, two projects only at a time, maybe 3. And one's gonna be an easy project that I can, you know, tune out and just knit. The other one's gonna be a project that requires a little bit more attention. And usually what happens is that I fly through the easy project and then focus on the hard project a little bit, and then maybe finish both of them and then cast on something else. But because for me, I'm not a pure process knitter. Like, I really like to finish object too. Like, finishing something is also very important to me. So 2 projects only at a time, maybe 3 if it's like really not portable. Then yeah. So somehow that caused me to not do any summer knits. Like, I don't have any summer tops, I guess, other than this, but I'm wearing this today because I'm feeling a little brave, but usually I don't wear this outside. It's like a full crop top, you know, it's not that big of a shirt. I don't know if you saw my midriff when I was getting up and down trying to get stuff, but it's a very little top. And actually, funny thing about this top, this is my, I think this is like the only project that, you know, spans through pre and post pandemic world. So I started this project a while ago. I don't even remember what this yarn is. This yarn I bought on sale in Chicago, and I threw away the ball band, of course, and I only got 1 hank, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a crop top. It'll be totally enough. It wasn't enough. So I started making it, and then I realized, wow, this is like really tiny. I ripped it out, and also I didn't swatch, so I don't know. So like, you know, the first thing came out, I was like, this is really tiny. I'm like stretching it to cover my mini titties, and it didn't work out, so I ripped it out. And then I knit it again, and I'm like, wow, this is still really tiny. So I ripped it out again, and I knit it again, and then I ran out of yarn, so I don't know how to show you this. In the back, can you see it? Yeah, in the back, this part, I just put in some orange yarn from another project and called it a day. I mean, usually you don't see it, you know, cover it up with your hair, call it a day, but yeah, I ran out of yarn. That's why you should swatch and also buy enough yarn. So since then I've been buying so much yarn that, you know, even if I finish one project, I'm going to have leftovers that I'm going to be like, what am I going to do? I don't know, hopefully scrappy socks. So yeah, so this spanned through the pandemic. It even went with me to New Zealand. That was my last pandemic trip. New Zealand, Taiwan, and back to the US. I finished it during the pandemic, but never wear it because it feels too tiny. The only time I wear it is usually with a tank top, a black tank top, spaghetti strap tank top, and like this over that. So I usually call this my boob warmer, because really the only time that you can wear an outfit like that is like just like fall, deep fall. Otherwise it's just like that would be too hot, and this is, I don't feel that comfortable wearing this. But I don't know, I feel like living up my cool girl, very, I don't know, fashionable. Is this fashionable? I don't know, but like I feel really cool. I feel like a diva. Other than like there's clumps in my hair because I don't know how to use hairspray. But yeah, so yeah, that's all the yarny content that I have. I feel like we have a lot to catch up on non-yarny things. So where did I start? So I bought this house, yeah. And I've been doing home improvement on my own, because I'm an engineer. I can do stuff. I'm not an engineer anymore. I just have a stupid desk job. So please, if you come here, don't inspect the walls too much. There are holes in places because I can't measure and I commit to things that I shouldn't be committing to. That's why I like knitting, because if you mess something up, just rip it back. Or if you mess something up, nobody's gonna see it. But these walls, they're stark white, and if you have a hole on there, you better find something to cover it up. So don't look too close. So this is a new apartment that I got. It's really small. I really miss like the bigger space, but this is very convenient. Other than the fact that there's just noise all around all the time. What else? On Thursdays there's $1 oyster nights, so I love going to the bar. It's like 2 blocks away that way, and I just love how close I am with my friends. A lot of my grad school friends, they're in the area, and I'm like rallying everyone to go to the bar like every other Friday, or like two times a month ish, because I crave social interaction even though I'm an introvert. Actually, people don't think I'm an introvert, but I am. I swear. I swear I am. Yeah, so that's what's up in my personal life, and I think I have also taken a good number of domestic trips since I got my 2 shots. So in May I went to Florida. That was super fun, and I feel like that was like my first time ever just chilling in a pool and chilling in the ocean. Like, that's just something I've somehow never done before. Like, I've been to the pool before, and I've been to the ocean before, but I've never just chilled in it or next to it. Like, I'm always running around, running into the water, like being really excited, doing kid things. But like, as an adult, that just has never happened. So that was a great experience. Thanks, Jess, for inviting us. And it was so nice. I was there with 2 girlfriends from my master's program, and that was a really fun trip. My first time going on a flight in a year. I know maybe a little sooner than some other people did. I was taking a little bit more risk because, you know, you got your 2 shots, so you're good to go, mostly, relatively. But I was like, all right, good to go. Going to Florida was really exciting. I think the next trip that I took, we went to Portland, Maine. That Portland trip was really fun too. I might also have footage there, so I think at the end, or maybe in the middle somewhere, I'll insert some footage of my trips. They were all really fun. I went there with my partner. The oysters were really good. I love oysters. And someone commented that all I do when I'm on vacation is eat, and I'm like, what else do you do? Anyways, that was a really fun trip. And then I went to Connecticut. That's where my partner's family lives, so I might podcast out of there at some point. And then tomorrow I'm going to California. I'm going to go see my friends there. I haven't seen them in a long time, and let's hope this vaccine works because I'm going on a plane again. So right now I'm mostly procrastinating cleaning up my apartment and packing. And there's someone vacuuming outside, so I really hope you don't hear any of this and this is all just in my head. So I'm really hoping. But yeah, more travel. I hope I already found where the yarn stores are. You'll see in the next episode whether Molly buys more yarn. Oh, I never introduced myself in the beginning of the episode. Whatever. If you're back, this is great. If you made it to the very end of the video, I have to say I'm impressed. Thank you for joining me so much. This has been really fun. I really enjoy chatting with you, even though mostly it's looking into a camera. But if you want to catch me in my day-to-day, I'll try posting a little bit more. You can find me on Instagram, mollyplusknitting, all in one word. And that's also my handle on Ravelry. I'm really bad about updating socials, as you can tell, but I'm working on it. You know, life is a work in progress. There's always something to work on, right? Anyways, I'm so glad you joined me. I hope everything's going well with you. If it's not, you're gonna do fine. I have confidence in you. Take my unfounded confidence and go take on the world. You're gonna be totally fine. I believe in you. Like, look at me. I'm fine. You're gonna be fine. Okay, well, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you enjoy this video, feel free to do a thumbs up. That'll help the algorithm know me a little bit more, or you mostly, and recommend this video somewhere else. If you really enjoy it, you don't have to do it, but if you really want to, you can subscribe. It'll boost my ego a little bit more, and you'll find out when the next time I upload. Hopefully soon. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I can't stop saying thank you. Like, every time someone said, oh, I've watched your video, I'm like, oh my god, you watched me talk? Wow. So thank you again, and I really hope everything's gonna be okay and everything's going well. So I'll see you next time. Bye.